Good morning. This is Reverend Alex, and this is my Sunday message, which I'm recording on Tuesday. And hopefully, not too much dangerous activity in the Meadville area around the virus will take place before Sunday. In any event, be safe, be careful, be healthy, and take good care of yourselves. We of the staff want to let you know that we're here for you, and if you need anything like food or other deliveries, please let me know, and I'll be happy to help out as best I can. This morning, I want to talk briefly around addiction and recovery because it's also a journey, as we talked about this last month now around journeying. It's a journeying from a place of what we might call incompleteness or brokenness to a place of wholeness. And when Carl Jung, in the opening words, talked about craving as a desire to fill something inside of us that we don't really know, but we know is there. He was speaking in the 1930s. For a lot of people, that word that was missing, or term that was missing, was God. But it may be several other things. Right now, it could be the sense of loneliness or isolation that you may be feeling, or just simply wanting to have something different happen, go out, have a party, do something that would be exciting and enjoyable. Unfortunately, we can't do that right now. So here's some ways that might be helpful for us to consider as we are spending so much time in isolation, especially as the virus gets more intense in this area. One of the things about recovery is that we really require other people to be with us and for us to be with them. I've been in recovery from alcoholism now for 16 and a half years, and I know that back then when I got sober, to this day, I need other people to give me support and I can support them. So here are some ways in which you can get support even if, or especially if, you're not addicted to any substances or behaviors, but that the isolation at home might be driving you a little crazy. First of all, connect to others. Reach out. If you're in recovery, in the 12-step programs or Buddhist recovery or SMART or others, there are always online meetings. Just Google them and find out a meeting that doesn't need to be near you. All you need to do is copy the link, go to the meeting at the time, and you'll be with a group of other people. And by the way, if you have any problems with connecting to Zoom or Skype, please let me know, email or text me, and I'll be happy to help you set it up, assuming you have the right type of technology to support video. And if you can't support video, there are always conference calls. But I think it's a really good idea to be able to see people if possible, in your family, your friends and groups and so on. So let me know if we can help with that. Now, what Carl Jung was telling Bill Wilson was that awakening to our true authentic self is the result of moving away from that craving. So here are some ways in order to awaken to being mindful, to being more present, and being a distraction away from the isolation that you may be feeling. One is be able to go outside if you can and garden. Smell the promise of spring. Feel the different temperatures as you go in and out of doors. If you can garden outside, wonderful. If you can only garden inside with some potted plants, do that as well. It's connecting to other living beings and sentient beings that can be really helpful because we're taking care of them, and by their presence, they're taking care of us. It's also true of our animal companions and, of course, our families. Another way is to cook healthy foods, but also enjoying the occasional comfort food with pleasure. So as an example, some of you know that I love bacon. I'm trying to move away from processed foods and meats in general, but bacon has a particular place in my life. And so I try to cook it once a week, and I try to get good bacon, and it's very tasty and wonderful. But I also enjoy now eating more vegetables and being mindful about cooking healthy food as well as some comfort food, which helps my isolation a bit. Another way is to reach out by video or other means to our families and friends. I mentioned earlier the opportunity to help you, if needed, to set up Skype or Zoom on your computer or phone or tablet, especially if you have a webcam device on your electronic equipment. If you don't, there are also ways to do conference calls. Finally, it's also important to remember that we don't have to be perfect. We're not sinful. Awakening to our whole self is being aware of our mind states and how we affect others. It's perfectly good to ask for help and to move away from the rugged individualism that so many of we Americans have. So if you're feeling isolated, check in with others, see how they're doing, see if you can do one kind deed a day. And so here's a closing practice you might find helpful. When you get up in the morning, ask yourself, what is one good deed that I can do today for someone else? When you go to bed at night, ask yourself, what good deed did I do today for myself or others? What good deed was done to me? Most likely, you're going to find that you did more than one good deed or had more than one done for you. Just be mindful that this scary time of the coronavirus could make us crave addictive substances or behaviors. Just acknowledge that reality, and then, as they say in AA, help someone else today. Remind ourselves that it's progress, not perfection. One day at a time, we'll make it through this pandemic together. Be of good cheer. We will be together again in person in due course. In the meantime, vows and blessings to us all. Take good care of ourselves, and please check in if you need any support or help.